Welcome back. It's going on 3 very difficult months for the family of Utah County Sgt Corey Wright, who was killed in the line of duty. Now, since his death, his wife found out that the state of Utah will not honor his police pension, and she's losing her health coverage on top of that. Now, she turned to KSL investigator Debbie DeJanig for a little bit of help here. What'd you find out?
Well, Mike, when Nanette Wright explained what the state is doing to the pensions of our fallen officers, I met with her and a Utah lawmaker, and together we began working on a solution.
Up until just a couple of weeks ago, I was still in utter shock. I still thought that maybe he still might come home.
And everything would be okay.
Yeah. And things aren't okay.
Sgt Corey Wright served the people of Utah for almost 20 years when a fugitive's bullet cut his life short.
Your heart aches for your kids and you don't even know how to help them, but when you're trying to do financial things and work and house things and everything else, you're spread so thin that it seems hopeless sometimes.
Nanette Wright showed me the complicated breakdown.
So this is with Social Security, the Division A, Division B is without.
And conflicting statements in the state's police pension plan. Had Sgt Wright reached 20 years of service, he could have retired and collected half of his salary for the rest of his life from the Utah retirement system. He served 19 years and 3 months when he was killed in the line of duty.
Did he know this?
He did not know this. He thought that I would be getting his pension.
Nanette says he had no idea his years of service would not factor into his death benefit, and his sacrifice would be financially undervalued by the state. His family gets a one-time payment of $1,500. His minor children receive just $50 a month, and Nanette's benefit is 37.5% of her husband's salary. The $1,863 a month will be wiped out by the $1,400 a month she'll start paying at year's end if she stays on her husband's county health plan.
Do you think police officers across Utah know that this is an issue?
They do not know this is an issue.
I think you simplify it. You simply state, number one, that if an officer dies in line of duty, they're considered retired.
Our meeting with Representative Paul Ray got results.
Did you know this was happening before you sat through this interview with Nanette?
I did not. I actually thought it was a lot more simple to handle, and I thought we were taking care of our officers, and obviously we're not.
Ray proposes families get 65% of their fallen officer's salary, and he wants to increase that one-time payout of $1,500 to 6 months worth of salary.
It should be enough to supplement you for 3 or 4 months.
Plus, the state picks up the family's health benefits.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think that is a perfect solution.
All retroactive to help the Wrights and other families. After our meeting, Representative Ray went to work on new legislation. Nanette Wright headed home to a life that's changed forever. Soon, she will return to work full-time to support her family as she continues to advocate for Utah's police families.
I don't want to see another family have to go through not only the loss and the grief and all of that, but to not be taken care of either. That's uncalled for. It's not right.
Get this, it turns out the federal government and private donations provide families with much more generous financial benefits than the state plan that our fallen officers had counted on. Nanette Wright believes officers sign up in part because of the state's pension plan, and being killed in action should not relieve Utah of its obligation.
It almost seems like it's all or nothing.
That's right.
Coming to that situation. Have police officers weighed in on this at all?
Spoke to the Utah Fraternal Order of Police this afternoon, which has 2,000 members. They say the state's current system is embarrassing and it is failing fallen officers. They too are calling for change tonight, and you can read their entire statement at KSL.com.
Yeah, troubling when you think about this, and they deserve a lot more. I think that's what most people would probably think.
I think that's what we thought.
Yeah. All right, Debbie, great report. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
Did you know this was happening before you sat through this interview with Nanette?
I did not. I actually thought it was a lot more simple to handle, and I thought we were taking care of our officers, and obviously we're not.
A KSL investigation this month brought to light a big problem with how we take care of the widows and families of fallen police officers here in Utah. Now, on top of no more health coverage, pension plan payouts are very small, and the paperwork process is confusing. It's a problem state leaders say they did not know even existed, and they want to make it right.
Now we know where their needs are.
Today, Representative Paul Ray and Senator John Valentine met with Nanette Wright and Sgt Johnson, 2 women who lost their husbands in the line of duty in just the last few months. Both found out fast that getting benefits was a whole new nightmare, and they don't want any other Utah families to feel the same.
I don't want to see another family have to go through not only the loss and the grief and all of that, but to not be taken care of either. You know, that's uncalled for. It's not right.
We're going to move forward in 4 different elements as we protect widows and widowers of fallen officers.
Lawmakers plan cover widows' health insurance costs and create a more substantial lump sum payment for families. Right now, the state pays them $1,500. Lawmakers also want to clearly define how fallen officers' pensions are paid out, and they want to provide families with an advocate to walk them through the process.
I don't care how long it takes, we'll get it done.
Even though she's still having to struggle through the process herself, Shantae Johnson says having something like this to work on is helping her move on after losing the love of her life.
This is not anything anyone wants to deal with or experience, and I would give anything if we can help simplify one more person's life. Then it gives us purpose and it gives us a reason to press forward.
Senator Valentine and Representative Ray are both working on versions of this bill to go before the House and the Senate during the next legislative session.